Hey guys, welcome back to another little mini chit chat video. Welcome back to another little mini reaction video. Um, we don't really know what to call this video. Before we go ahead and get into it, however, because this is quite a serious matter, quite a serious matter. Before we go ahead and jump into it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Um, and yeah, so before we do that, like I said, I want to go ahead and shout out all our Purple Heart members. Thank you guys for all of your support, all your support. You guys always come through. And I'm sorry if I sound um, just a little rattled. Today has been a very crazy day, just because of everything that is going on at the moment. So you guys know, I'm sure you guys have seen it on the news. There is a hurricane at the moment um, that is, hitting Jamaica pretty hard. So it has been it has been a long day. Just trying to stay on top of everything. I was supposed to go to work. I did not go in. I wanted to kind of um stay home, stay close to home, and we've been watching the news and trying to, get any information that we can. As you guys know, during a hurricane, there really is nothing that you can do but pray, pray, and before, try to prepare as best you can, with supplies and all of that. But um this is one of the worst hurricanes. Like when I was a little girl, I lived through Gilbert, and Gilbert was on record one of the worst hurricanes that Jamaica had ever seen. And that was pretty tough. And that was in the 80s. That was in the 80s. And 80s and 70s, you had really bad hurricanes. But this particular hurricane is really bad. Like, this is the worst on record, breaking every single record on the island. Um, and it's hard, like it's hard to, you're not able to be there with like loved ones and so forth. All you can do is listen, listen for the news, and the news is coming little by little. There's not a lot. You have a lot of like power outage, so of course cell phones go down, can't recharge, batteries can't recharge, you can't get any information out, banks are closed, you can't even really send any aid in terms of financial aid, um just because everything is shut down. Everything is shut down. There is nowhere to go. Like, it's really tough. And just kind of waiting to hear what's happening is really tough. Um, so let me know if you guys have been keeping up with the news. I know we had like days of warnings and stuff like that. People were really trying to get people to move to higher ground, to really move to safety. And uh it's it's difficult to explain if you're not like from the Caribbean, or maybe if you're somebody who lives somewhere like Tornado Alley and stuff like that. When you live with disaster just around the corner at all times, sometimes you underestimate Mother Nature. So it's really hard to get people to kind of take it serious, because every hurricane is kind of like, hey, this is it, this is really bad, you guys need to move to higher ground and stuff like that. And they don't really take it serious until it's like right upon you. And then in storms like these, last minute evacuation efforts just don't go well because it's just so much chaos, so much commotion. There's just it's just a lot going on, and it can be really, really difficult, especially in rural communities like where this particular storm is hammering, like St. Elizabeth, St. Anne, places like Malvern, Baklava. Um, these type of places are farming communities. They're considered what you would be considering like rural communities. So getting out there is not the easiest. If again you're in the United States and you're used to like, and you're in a rural area and you're used to um natural disasters, then you guys can understand like how it can be. The longer you wait to leave, the harder it is to get out. And hey guys in the comments, hey guys, shout out to my Purple Heart gang. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for coming through. We definitely appreciate you guys in this time. It's really been such a crazy day. We've been trying to reach some family, haven't really been able to get through. And again, kind of, understanding that it's really, really hectic on the ground right now. And, power lines are down, phone lines are down. It's really hard to get a hold of people, especially the ones that are out more in the country region. The people in the city are not as hard hit. Like if you're in Kingston, that's like there's like a million people in that city. It's a big city. It's capital city, and if you're in that city, you're getting the blowback, but it's not as bad as if you're out on the like the southern side of the island. Like if you're out Montego Bay, St. Anne, Clarendon, Manchester. If you're out those ways, it's really, really hectic. So we're just we're praying. We are praying for the best. And that's all you can do. The government is well prepared to assist in like disaster relief and stuff, but obviously there's nothing you can do once the storm starts hammering. You kind of have to wait it out. You got to buckle down, and wait it out. And they're already talking about power lines being down for weeks at a time. So that's not good. Especially, you have like the hospital out in the countryside where like the roof completely blew off the hospital. So that's a bad situation right there. You have like a lot of elderly people in these hospitals in rural communities and stuff like that. And again, another, it's very difficult to deal with that type of stuff. So we've been just trying to stay strong and, support the best that we can. Like I said, when you're out the country, it's kind of difficult to really truly assist the way you want to. The first thing we want to do is send money to buy food and to buy fuel, because you'll have like emergency lanterns, kerosene lanterns. So you need to buy kerosene and to cook, and to buy blankets and things of that nature. But all that stuff kind of has to come after, in the moment. A lot of these communities are cut off. We're hearing about bridges that are just completely washed away. So it's going to be really, really hard to get to some of these farming communities. And so that's really, really difficult. People really, they don't take climate change seriously. And on a global, we're talking like on a global level, nobody takes this stuff serious unless you're living in the regions that it actually really, really does affect. It's not even hurricane season. This storm is kind of like, it's a freak storm. It's not hurricane season, so it's not something that you would be preparing for. Even though you do get hurricanes, when it's not hurricane season, it's not really something that you're mentally prepared for, that you financially prepared for. A lot of these farming communities, they're going to lose a lot of livestock. That's going to hit the economy. Um, where this is happening in in the region that it's happening is considered like um it's considered like the breadbasket for the island. They produce a lot of the products that is sold in a lot of the markets and stores throughout the island. So it's a huge economic hub up that way in terms of agriculture, and they're gonna get hit pretty hard. And a lot of the infrastructure, yes, you have people in, in modern homes and stuff like that, because it is fairly close. Montego Bay and stuff like that. It's a huge expat community around these areas. You guys know it's very. Whew, I thought I ended. Hold on. I might have. Oh no, we're back. Oh my goodness. I thought I ended, you guys. I don't know what I just did. I did something. I touched the screen. I might have hit one of these ads, and it thing. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into this quick clip, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it, and I'll wrap up the video. So this is the
The
video.
island braces for the impacts of Hurricane Melissa. The storm so intense, hurricane hunters flying into the eye had to turn back. Here's ABC's Leno Melise. Jamaica is bracing for the most powerful storm on record to hit the island, up to 40 inches of rain, more than 13 feet of storm surge. Melissa approaching as a Category 5 hurricane overnight, with winds up to 175
That
miles
is
per
a
hour.
look at the eye of the
Sparks
storm. That is
flying
a
as
huge
winds damage
storm.
trees
Oh
and
my
power
gosh.
lines. This video from Air Force hurricane hunters shows inside the eye of Melissa, the
Mm-mm.
eyeball nearly vertical. The flight forced to turn back after hitting severe turbulence. A Miami based hurricane researcher calling it the most turbulent he's ever seen.
Oh my
They had to go
gosh.
back for inspections to make sure the
Mm.
aircraft is okay. That is really kind of a haunting report. Local officials telling people in low-lying Yachi is in Kingston. People here in Jamaica are stocking up on water, stocking up on non-perishable foods, and moving to higher elevations, all while making sure the vulnerable population has everything they need. The United Cajun Navy, formed after Hurricane Katrina, ready to assist. We have folks on the ground waiting to take assessments, let us know what the needs are. 8 groups from the U.S. already in Jamaica say they're planning for long-term airport closures. Tourists are stranded, forced to ride out the
Mm-mm.
storm
I'm
and
so
foot the
glad my
bill.
neighbor is gonna
Nearly
cancel
30
her
people from a
vacation.
wedding, including the
So glad.
bride and groom, now sharing an
Yep.
Airbnb after
This
their
is
resort
wedding
said it would
season
charge up to
too.
$200
A lot
extra
of
per
people.
night to extend their
Mm-mm.
stay. We're all here together, hunkering down. We just cleaned up, we moved all patio furniture out of the way, put everything up there where we could. We're going to tape the windows. And a couple from Arkansas celebrating their anniversary, now stranded. We have two kids back home, so they were expecting their parents back on Sunday night.
Mm-mm.
That is hard for me to think about, like that the resorts would charge them extra stay when we were down covering Ivan, and this was back in
Okay.
the early aughts.
Okay, guys. So there you have it. Just a quick little update. There are other videos that this was the most recent one when I came on live, but we have other clips and stuff of like people who are actually in their backyards filming this stuff. The wind is just wow, it's crazy. And that's another thing. There are a lot of tourists, a lot of people. Like I said, I'm super happy my neighbor is saying she's gonna cancel her flight. I would hate for her to go and get stranded down there, because that's exactly what is going to happen. And so I'm glad she's canceling, but a lot of people got the warning and still went, thinking, like I said before, it's not going to be that bad. It's just a little weather, it's just a little rain, it's not going to be bad, it's just going to be in and out. No, this is devastation. This is not just going to be, they're going to be stranded there. Who knows when the airport is going to open. It's just a lot going on in terms of humanitarian aid and stuff like that, that they're going to be, all the resources gonna be focused on trying to get survivors and people to safety and all of that. So who knows when they'll reopen the airport. And like you heard them say, the resorts, they are not letting you stay for free, especially in this economic time. So there is going to be a charge to your credit cards, and you'll probably have to dispute that once you get home. Hopefully you have some type of disaster insurance. That's another thing. A lot of people, when they travel to Jamaica and to the Caribbean as a whole, you're thinking paradise, you're not thinking medical insurance, you're not thinking disaster insurance, you're not thinking you'll be stranded in the middle of a category 5 hurricane, right? So a lot of people are left high and dry, without any type of protection whatsoever. And that's crazy how many people are going to be stuck at these resorts. And being stuck at a resort in Jamaica is maybe during a hurricane is maybe fun for like a day. It's fun, you getting the free food, everything is fine. And then second, third, fourth day, it starts to hit. Like, these places are not set up for long term stay, right? It's set up for a quick in and out because it's so expensive. Nobody stays for a really long period of time unless you're like uber rich and you're staying like at a villa with a maid and a butler and all of that. Or you have like you're staying at like a rental property that's privately owned, then you're more of in a residential vibe. But if you're at one of these resorts as a tourist, it's over with. After 2 or 3 days, you start to realize like hot water, sanitation, food, all of that stuff, it just kind of starts to go by the wayside a little bit. The longer you have to stay, in this kind of makeshift residential situation that's not set up for that. So, hopefully, like I said, I'm praying for everyone. Hopefully, they get the supplies. Hopefully, everything is able to be sorted out. People who are stranded, they're able to make it home once it's safe to do so. And like I said, all we can do is pray, guys. That's all we can do right now. So thank you guys so much. Like I said, for those of you who came through, we appreciate your time. Let me know, like I said, once again, let me know if you also have family members in Jamaica or other parts of the Caribbean that's been affected by the storm, by the hurricane. Um, let me know that all that stuff in the comments down below. We're gonna continue to pray. Stay up and stay blessed, guys. Thank you to everyone in our Purple Heart crew who came through. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And for those of you who missed the live, don't worry, it's gonna be re-uploaded on YouTube. You guys can check it out then. We thank you for your support in advance. Yeah, deuces. We'll catch up with you guys in another video.